Today, I want to show you how I make meat stock. This is a very basic recipe with simple ingredients. Come on, let me show you how to do it. To my 4-quart stock pot, I'm adding a beef shin bone. I like this cut because it has the marrow bone surrounded by meat. The meat can be consumed with the stock, or it can be incorporated into other dishes once the stock is done. I'm now adding a whole onion. I'm leaving the onion whole and intact so that it can be easily removed at the end of the cook time. The skin on the onion contains a lot of beneficial nutrients that I would like infused into the stock. I'm now adding carrots. I'm leaving the carrots whole as well as the celery. The carrots and the celery left whole will be easy to remove at the end of cooking or incorporate it into a soup or another dish if desired. I'm adding the Celtic sea salt and apple cider vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is going to help to pull more of the nutrients out of the meat and into the broth. I added black pepper, and now I'm pouring in the water. I'm using filtered water. You want to use water that's as clean as possible. Now I'm filling up the stock pot, but I'm leaving the water a few inches below the top of the pot. That way, when the pot starts to boil, it will not boil over. So now we have the pot on the stove and we are heating it up. While it heats, I want to share some information with you about bone broth and meat stock. We use these terms interchangeably. I want to read a portion from Nourishing Broth by Sally Fallon and Kayla T. Daniels. This can be found on page 152. It's under the heading MSG sensitivity, and it reads, "Some people are very sensitive to monosodium glutamate, MSG, even to its more natural form, free glutamic acid. Glutamine or glutamic acid is an essential amino acid abundant in meat and cartilage, and the process of making stock brings it out into the liquid. Indeed, it is glutamic acid that gives broth its savory meat-like flavor. Those with extreme sensitivities to MSG will also react to the free glutamic acid in broth. The solution is to make a meat stock with lots of meat and very few bones and simmer it for a short time, about an hour." One reader reports to us that she can't tolerate bone broth cooked more than 6 hours. These individuals will need to use their broth in soups and not as reduced concentrated sauces. So I wanted to note that because I know there are people out there who can't tolerate bone broth, but they may do better with a shorter cooked meat stock. So as you see, my stock has come to a sufficient boil, and I've skimmed off the foam that's gathered on top. I discard the foam. I don't have any need for it, and I highly suggest that you skim your stock as well. If you miss it, it's okay, because if you don't catch it while it's forming, sometimes it will dissolve back into the liquid. I personally like to catch mine. I have missed it, and it did not destroy the final outcome. So I'm letting this simmer and boil uncovered. And I turned the fire down because I wanted at a very gentle simmer before placing the lid on the pot. If you cover the pot too soon, you will risk boil over, and that's never fun to clean up from. So now I've turned the heat down even more, and now I'm going to cover the pot and forget about it for about an hour to an hour and a half. I will check on it though to make sure that it's at a low simmer and it's not boiling too hard. It's not going to boil over. And as you can see here, I'm just stirring around in the pot. I found the bone. I'm just taking a peek in to see what the marrow is looking like. And we see that the broth has this beautiful amber color. The oils have risen, and it looks beautiful. I agree. I think that broth is beautiful. It's all done now, and we are going to put this whole thing together. I have some kale that I've placed in my bowl along with some of the meat And now I'm pouring the broth over it, and dinner is ready. Thank you so much for joining me today.